What's the best archaeological support for the Bible? You know, you can get entire books and take whole courses on archaeology we found from the beginning of the Bible all the way through the end. But let's focus down just on the life of Jesus. Here's a few to keep in mind. When you read in John chapter 5, it describes this miracle that Jesus did by the pool of Bethesda. And it describes 5 porticos, like colonnade structures. You know, for years, skeptics said this is wrong, it couldn't happen, Jesus couldn't have healed somebody who was there, because this is not how structures were done. But when the town of Bethesda was excavated, guess what they found? They found a structure exactly like Jesus describes. Here's another example. The high priest who oversaw part of the trial against Jesus is named Caiaphas. Do you know we have the bone box of Caiaphas? He's not just a literary figure. He's not a literary fiction. Caiaphas was a real historical person. Another example, Pontius Pilate, who's the Roman governor who oversaw the trial and condemned Jesus to death. People doubted the existence of Pilate for years because all we had was so-called literary evidence. But now we actually have an inscription from Caesarea pointing to Tiberius and the governor Pontius Pilate. Another example is skeptics often doubted that Jesus was actually crucified by nails, as John reports, where Thomas says, I want to see the nails in his hands and the nails in his feet. Crucified victims we found had all been crucified with a rope. But then, in dating to the late 20s in Palestine, the body of the remains of a man who's been named Yehohanan was found. And he was crucified with about an 11.5 centimeter spike through his heel. Now, what does that show? That doesn't show that Jesus was crucified, but it shows that the biblical account, written long before the archaeological remains appeared, described the way people were actually crucified at that time. There are many, many more examples, but the archaeological support is one powerful way of showing that the Bible as a whole and the story of Jesus is actually true.